What's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm Chris.
I'm Sean.
And we're the Whiskey Noobs.
Yes.
So we kind of got a fun video, I hope. I mean, it'll be fun for us.
I'm excited about it. Yeah.
So we had, here recently, we've had some folks reach out to us and offer to send us some whiskey. Mm-hmm. And when we started this whole journey of, recording, us drinking whiskey and hanging out.
What we do every night anyway, yeah.
I don't think we really ever thought folks were going to send us whiskey.
No.
Like it never crossed our mind.
Nope.
Apparently it's a fairly common thing, and we're super excited about that because we usually get to try whiskeys we wouldn't normally otherwise get to try, and we're really excited to be able to share whiskeys that might be harder for other folks to find.
Yep.
And so, we're just kind of still dipping our toe into this community, and I'm really happy that we are.
Yeah.
So anyway, our friend JJ from
Jam Jar Bourbon Jam
over on Instagram sent us 8 different samples.
Yeah.
And she was so kind to send them to us, and they come in these neat little jars. Yeah, 8 samples.
Wow.
Yeah, at first I thought they were 4
like
different samples and then
for
one
each
jar
one.
for each of us.
Yeah.
But no, they're 8 different samples.
Yeah,
So here's
awesome.
the fun part, though. They're blind. We don't know what they are.
No idea.
So I actually had JJ send a text message to my wife, who's behind the camera, and send her what the whiskeys were. So my wife knows what these are, but we do not know what they are. Yeah. So JJ said she was going to send us some whiskeys. She wanted us to try them to give she said brutally honest feedback, right? And tasting notes.
Yeah.
Say whether we like them, don't like them, what we get from them. And she even said that some of these whiskeys are ones that she wasn't extremely fond of.
Yeah. She said she tried them, and I think she made the comment of, is my palate broken, or do I really not like these?
Is it just something wrong with the whiskey, or is it me?
Yeah.
So we're going to try them. Now, full disclaimer, there's very few whiskeys that we don't like. Yeah. So I'm going to pour this.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we think.
Look, you guys are having a tea party.
Make sure we get equal. I do feel like we're having a little tea party. Put my pinky out.
Pinky! Yeah.
You got a little bit more.
I got like double the amount. Not that I'm complaining.
I like the color on it.
I do.
It's a good color.
It's got some decent oils.
So this is A.
No, is that A or B? It looks like
nope,
a B.
This is sample A.
Are you sure?
Sample A.
Oh, okay. That's a B on the top. Sorry, that was throwing me off. I was like, why are we starting with B? Right.
Yeah, so it looks like these have probably been used before, which is, me and Sean, when we bought sample bottles, we were like, well, now that we bought some, people were sending us sample bottles, we're good. We just reuse them.
Won't need to buy them again.
They're glass jars, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, I like the color.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? But it's got a beautiful color on it.
It does. Really.
And I've spilled whiskey on the table. My table will smell really good tomorrow.
Ooh, the nose.
I'm liking the nose on this one.
I am too. That is.
I'll give you my initial thoughts on what I'm smelling here. This smells like bourbon to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely bourbon.
It smells proofier.
That's what I was gonna say. That's got some proof for sure. Because that's definitely delivering some cherries and.
Yeah, I'm getting heat off the nose.
Yeah.
I'm getting vanilla. Vanilla souffle.
Yeah, some little graham cracker.
It has a nice fling on the outside of your glass.
It does. It's very oily. It's very oily.
I love the color. All right, we're going for a taste.
Okay. Yes.
It's sweet. It's fairly light.
Lighter than I expected.
Compared to the nose.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So I can see where that comment would be confusing. From the nose, I was expecting something a lot more leathery, a lot more tobacco-y.
Yeah.
Just a higher proof, I guess.
And even though the color.
Even though I was getting sweet from the nose, the proof had me thinking I was going to get different flavors. I don't think it's as proofy as I thought it was on the nose.
I've got a cherry vanilla lingering finish on this that is like really strong.
It's got a good mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Coats the palate well.
It's creamy.
It's not super oily.
No, and it does have a crisp finish to it. And like I said, that lingering is a very sweet.
You know the word that
Cherry
comes to
vanilla.
mind for me? It's not a tasting note so much as it is like what it makes me feel. It's refreshing.
Oh, you get refreshing out
I
of it?
I drink that and I'm like,
This to me is a hybrid between a really oily, proofy kind of a bourbon and like a lighter rye kind of a thing. Because there's some fire in it from like a rye, but on the nose and everything else, it is just.
normally we sync up on our whiskey tastings, and like I'm just
yeah.
not feeling some of the things you're feeling from this one.
Huh.
Like I don't
That's good.
get rye from it because I'm not getting any. I don't get any medicinal. I don't get any spice.
Okay.
It just tastes like bourbon to me. Like it just bourbon. Like there's nothing really stand out or crazy to me.
Huh. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah,
It's
I do too.
it's good whiskey.
Yeah. I'm not upset about drinking it.
All right, so let's.
One last one.
All right, so I'm gonna make some observations, and you can make yours.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
I mean that's not a super hard guess unless I'm just completely wrong. I'm gonna say it's bourbon. I'm gonna say it's sub 100 proof, under 100 proof,
Okay.
and I'm not getting any crazy finishing techniques or anything wild that makes me think that it's anything really unique.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, here's something we should do. Let's say what we would pay for this.
Okay.
To me,
So before we get to that, I just want to throw some more into that. I think it has not been finished as long as it could be. Potentially, if this.
So you
was
think it's
finished-
younger?
I think it's younger. I think if it was finished longer, it would be way more complex than what it is. I am getting some
it's
complexity.
gonna be really
from it.
funny if this thing's like 20 years old.
Oh, I know. It is going to be funny. I mean, that's just my initial thing because some of the younger stuff I've had that I feel potential in, but it's fiery and hot and, very young on the finish, But it leaves me with a cherry vanilla, which is really odd.
It doesn't taste like anything I've ever had.
No, and I was waiting for that. At first on the nose I thought, and then I was like, no.
Yeah, it doesn't remind me of any of the whiskeys I've had. It doesn't really remind me of any of the expressions I can think of at the moment. So make some of your guesses. So do you think this
Price
is bourbon?
I do think it's a bourbon. I do agree that it's a bourbon. I think it's a bourbon with maybe a higher rye content, or it's just really young.
Okay. Proof wise?
I'd be surprised after I tasted it. I'd be surprised. It's probably about right at 100 proof.
Okay, so you're saying 100 or under.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Age, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say, we say younger. I'm going to say this is less than 4 years.
Yeah, I was thinking 2.5 to 3, like literally, like
Okay, so you're thinking like
two,
craft territory.
Yeah, not maybe
So are you
not
saying
even
you
craft,
don't-
but
you see, you enjoyed this. I mean, you sounded like you enjoyed it.
I did. I enjoyed it, and then the last drink, I don't know what it was, but that last little sip that I had really showed the age on it.
So I'll say this. I enjoy this. This is a good background whiskey.
Yeah,
As far as what I would pay for it, this is in,
$30.
I would say $20 to $30 range.
Yeah.
$25. All right, so let's agree on. So you say,
You said 20, I said 30. We can do
so let's say 25. We'll say
Yeah.
this is $25 whiskey.
Yeah.
All right. Behind the camera with the answers, ma'am, what was
excited.
sample A?
King's Country Distillery Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Correct.
Okay, it sounds like a craft.
It is. I'm actually looking it up. It looks like the bottles go from anywhere from $23 to $69.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a big.
That is
Jump.
a big
Well,
jump.
it's
Yeah.
craft.
Yeah.
Does it tell me age? It's
How long have they been around?
80% organic corn, 20% English malted barley.
Oh.
Twice distilled in a copper pot, then aged with new charred oak barrels.
Oh.
So rich in caramel, vanilla, Holiday Spice. This bottle is
I like the
cited
copper pot.
frequently
That's
in lists to best non-Kentucky bourbons, aged for at least 2 years.
Okay. There we go.
okay.
So
What's the proof?
It is 90 proof.
Okay.
you were right on the
So we
proof,
were
yeah.
right on everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to say at one point, I don't know, it's gonna sound like I'm just making it up, but I did want to say at one point that it was craft. But I'll say this: if for it being craft whiskey, I enjoyed it,
I did too.
and so I kind of leaned away from calling it craft just because, like, normally I don't like craft whiskeys.
You did use the word craft while I
Okay.
was talking through it. You said so a craft. You know, like that
Yeah,
came right
well,
to your
because
mind.
I know that's some of the wordage you use when you're talking about craft whiskeys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd pay $25 for it. Sounds like that's about the territory you can get it for.
Yeah, maybe 30.
We were right on, we were right on proof. It was under 100.
Yeah.
The nose, I tell you what, this is one of those things where with some of the crafts we found is that the noses can be deceiving.
In either way, sometimes you get no nose, bold flavor,
Yeah.
and sometimes you get a high note, a crazy nose with
Yep.
what we just.
I don't feel like we experienced that as much with some of the whiskeys that have so much production that they're pretty well.
Yeah, they've honed that in.
Right?
Yeah.
And so with crafts, I
they've
feel
honed
like we have a little bit more variation. But overall,
Wild in a good way.
here's what I'll say.
Yep.
I'd pay $25 for it. Would I buy a second bottle?
I can't tell that after a sample.
Do you want some more?
I mean, unless we're gonna do something else with the rest of that sample, like a blind or something. No.
No, I don't think so because I'll be honest with you. Even as much as we had of it, I still don't think it's going to be something that's going to be.
Yeah, I just don't know after this amount if I can determine whether
If you would buy a second bottle?
if I'm gonna buy a second
All right,
bottle.
well,
I really
Sean's undecided.
Yeah.
My answer would be, would I buy a second bottle? Here, let me give you another sip, and then I'll give you my opinion.
don't. Okay, that's fine. I just feel like I need to live with it for a little bit. I'm willing to live with this one. How's that?
Well, you can live with the few drops that are left in that. It's not bad whiskey. And now Sean and I have a saying where there's really
No, there's
not
no
much
bad whiskey.
there's no such thing as really bad whiskey.
Nope.
Except for Monkey Shoulder. But
I'm sorry, guys. He just keeps on.
I can't. The funk. I can't do the funk. So yeah. Anyway, reiterating. Thank you so much for the samples.
Yeah, absolutely. JJ.
Sample A. What did you say? King's.
Yeah, that was one I've never heard of. So thank you.
King's Country Distillery.
King's Country Distillery.
That is the straight bourbon whiskey, and you can get that in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. All right. So New York
The
Distillery.
source.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad.
No,
And
I was glad to try.
for a
that.
free sample was excellent.
Yes,
So thanks so much. Cheers.
I guess.